She's still pretty heavily sedated.
How long till she comes out of it?
A while. Dr. Mason wants to keep her as stable as possible. You know, why don't you try to go home and get some rest, Mr. Scorpio?
I'm all right.
Commissioner?
Yeah, what is it?
Maybe you better come outside, sir.
She'll be all right.
You know where to find her?
Captain Ramsey sent me, sir. He thought you might like to see this. It's hot off the press.
Hell.
Any comment?
What are you, part of the press corps, too?
Well, Captain Ramsey was interested in your reaction, sir.
How's that?
About sums it up, sir.
Tell the good captain that I'll be speaking to Miss Templeton very soon.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else?
No, sir.
You're dismissed.
Nurse Lana, report to X-ray. Nurse Lana, report to...
Robert,
Oh, hi, Dan.
I just heard about Holly. When did they bring her in?
Last night.
Does Ruby know?
Yeah, and Bobby, everybody.
How is she?
Well, she's heavily sedated at the moment. They don't want her to move a muscle.
How serious is it?
Oh, they don't know. She seems to be holding her own. I don't think it's all that serious.
Well, then, maybe you can go home and get some rest.
I'm fine.
But if you don't mind my saying so, you don't look it. Up all night?
Yeah.
Have anything to eat? How many cups of coffee?
I lost count after 5.
I get the picture. You're fixing to get yourself in here.
I haven't got the time, mate. 1 minute off this murder case and I'll be one-upped.
You mean the article in the paper?
You read it?
Yes, and I noticed the reporter's name. What are you going to do?
Hang around and you can listen. Yes, this is Commissioner Scorpio here. And I want a squad car sent around to the house of Jackie Templeton. Right. Tell the officers to pick her up and escort her here, General Hospital. That's right, Templeton. Now, if she resists in any way, bring her in for withholding evidence. You heard me.
That's a serious charge.
And this is a serious case. And the sooner Miss Templetoes realizes that, the better off she's going to be.
Get easy. I'll come back when you're feeling better. Take good care of her, Robert.
Right. Right here.
Adrian.
Hey, it's going to be okay. You just rest.
How are we doing in here?
Well, she sort of comes in and out of it.
Nurse?
We're keeping her sedated as per your instructions, Doctor.
Good. Holly? Holly, it's Dr. Mason. Doctor, you're all right, Holly. We're just trying to keep you from moving around too much. You're going to be a good girl and help us out, right?
As the baby.
As far as I can tell, all right, but I want to do another sonogram.
Hey, look, is there a chance?
Oh, well, we can't tell at this point. We just have to wait and find out. Keeping Holly stable and watching over her is what's important now.
Well, what can I do?
Well, nothing much at this point. Maybe grab yourself a nap. You look like you could use one.
Yeah, everybody keeps telling me that. But I won't be sleeping for a while.
Well, she'll be sleeping for at least another day. Nurse, I want to make and a change in the present medication, an increase of 5 cc's an hour.
Yes, Doctor.
Look, would it be all right if I left her for a while?
Well, I'd recommend it. Look, the nurse is here in case there are any problems. Have you reconsidered on that sleep?
I'm afraid that's the last thing on my mind.
That leaves work.
Important work. Yeah, look, I've got a few calls to make. Excuse me.
Got anything for me?
No, not a thing.
Excuse me, Jesse. Look, I'm expecting Jackie Templeton plus 2 officers to arrive here any minute. If I'm not around, could you tell them to wait in the lounge for me, please?
Sure.
Thank you. Hi.
Jackie Templeton and police escort. Isn't your wife upstairs in the hospital bed?
Sleeping.
Giving you the perfect excuse to go back to work.
The world doesn't stop, Bobby.
Apparently yours doesn't.
Now, listen, I don't need this right now.
Fine. Why don't you go take care of your business? We'll let you know how it turns out.
Now, what is bothering you?
Robert, just want to know what happened. 1 minute Holly is absolutely fine. The next minute she's in here.
She picked up something that was too heavy for her.
You sure you didn't have her working out on your jungle gym? Or chasing after your bad guys? Robert, don't you understand that that woman is carrying a child?
I'm quite aware of it.
Since it's not your kid, you could care less.
You believe that?
You're not exactly the picture of the perfect parent. See you, Robert.
Don't you walk away from me. Now, you seem to forget the reasons that I married her in the first place. 1, to keep her in this country. 2, to give her child, your brother's child, a chance in this world. Now, I've been up all night. I'm going to be up all day, and probably all night tonight. I don't need this from you, Bobby. Not now. Not ever. Excuse me.
Robert,
Gotta hand it to you, kid. You got more nerve than I ever gave you credit for.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Get over here. I want to talk to you.
Excuse me, do you think this is necessary?
I sure as hell do. How dare you print that note? What are you, crazy or just partially retarded? This is a criminal investigation. That is a piece of crucial evidence. You withheld it. Now, sweet cakes, whether you realize it or not, I can have you arrested for that. You're in big trouble. I probably will have you arrested. What's that?
It's your evidence, Commissioner.
Where did you get it?
Found it on my living room floor.
And I'm supposed to believe that.
Well, no one is forcing you.
How did it get there?
Obviously, someone dropped it.
Any ideas?
You're the Commissioner. You figure it out.
Heather.
What do you know? That was my assumption exactly. Maybe there's room for me on the force.
Maybe when you grow up. Why would you assume that Heather dropped this?
Because she's been worried, she's been looking for something, and she's been asking me a lot of questions.
Doesn't answer the question. Why would she have it in the first place?
I didn't think you'd be able to figure it out. See, it has to do with something you know very little about. Love. Because that's exactly what Heather is. Scotty's lover.
how is she?
About the same.
I just talked to Dr. Mason. She said it's going to be a while before we know anything.
We've got so much writing in this.
So is she.
Yeah.
Could we talk?
Sure, what is it?
Outside? Do you just know can we change? What?
I have no idea.
Looking for this? Speechless. But of course you both are. The last you saw this, it was in the hands of a newspaper.
She gave it to you, didn't she?
If by she are you referring to Jackie, the answer is yes. She gave it to me a few minutes ago. And naturally, of course, I rushed right over. It's delightful to find you both in.
I'm in. She's not.
Well, it's a poor choice of words. I'm just glad to see you both. We have a lot to chat about.
You mean about the note?
I wasn't referring to the weather.
Listen, that doesn't prove...
Hold it. Now, let's try it one at a time.
The picture in the paper was the first time I'd ever seen that
I was really referring to this as a separate arrangement.
We have nothing to hide from each other.
I work for Scotty. That's why I'm here.
That's right, routine business.
I never questioned it. Now, I'd like to talk to you alone, Heather.
Well, where?
Upstairs in an interrogation room, with your permission, of course.
I just don't see what this has to do with me.
Upstairs, Heather.
What about me, Scorpio?
We'll discuss you later. I assume you're not going anywhere.
No, the food's too good.
Bon appetit. Shall we leave?
Heather, don't talk to anybody without a lawyer present. Heather, do you hear me?
Scotty's right, you know. You're quite welcome to have a lawyer present.
You really think I'm going to need one?
You might find a question or two you don't like.
Well, but I won't answer them. That's my right, isn't it?
Anything you want, Heather.
Right now, I just want to get out of here. I do have a lot of other things to do today.
Tell me what you know about the note.
Well, that's simple. I don't know. No, sir.
First you ever saw of it was in the newspaper.
That's right, today. Can I go now?
When I'm finished.
Look, there really isn't anything I can tell you about this.
I don't believe you, Heather.
Why not?
I think you know a whole lot more that you really want to tell me. But you're scared. I'm right, aren't I?
Yes.
Why?
Because you seem to be connecting me to this murder that I don't know anything about, that I have nothing to do with.
All I want is the truth. Now, I want to know what you know about that note. And the sooner you tell me, the better we're both going to be.
Why don't you ask Jackie about it? She's the one who gave it to you, or at least that's what you said.
She said she found it in her apartment. Your apartment, Heather.
And you believed her?
Why shouldn't I?
Because she's obviously made it up. You know she was there the night of the murder the same way I do. So, she obviously picked up the note and took it when no one was looking.
Not likely.
Are we protecting our old girlfriends now? You believe anything that Jackie says just because she's Jackie? She took that note for one reason and one reason only, so she could blame me.
Why? What possible reason could she have for wanting to do that?
Why don't you ask her?
The only value that note is to her is a form of exploitation for her newspaper.
Then why didn't she print it earlier?
Because she didn't have it, and she didn't have it because she didn't take it from the scene of the crime. She only found it in the apartment yesterday, and you know that, because that's when you discovered it missing.
I will tell you one more time. I have never seen that original note before. I saw it in the paper today.
You're denying it?
Yes,
Ever having seen it?
that's
The
right.
first you ever saw of it was in the news.
In the newspaper today.
Right, you're lying.
You believe whatever you want.
I just want a little bit of the truth out of you.
Watch your temper, Commissioner. Could get you in trouble.
Yes.
Excuse me, Inspector. There's a telephone call on line 2 for you.
Thank you. Scorpio here.
Hi, Robert. It's Tiffany. I hope I haven't caught you in the middle of anything.
Well, as a matter of fact, you have.
Well, this will just take a second. It's about the note, you know, that Jackie found in the apartment.
Oh, Robert, it was all my fault. I mean, I know I should have turned it in to you earlier, but then Vicky called about the toothpaste ad, and then I just had to catch the next flight out, so then I forgot all about it. I mean, you remember we were having lunch at the
No.
Fire Room?
Now, hold it. What are you talking about?
The note that I had in my purse. It must have just dropped out on the floor.
Where did you get it?
From Heather's jewelry box.
You sure?
Of course I'm sure. Oh, I'm so sorry, Robert. I know that I should have told you, but when Mickey called, my mind just kind of went blank. Oh, Robert, are you ever going to forgive me for this?
Don't worry about it, sweet cakes. Consider it done. Just stay by your phone. I may want to talk to you. I think you better call your lawyer.
Honey, shouldn't you be getting back to work?
No, this will page me if they need me.
Why are we still here? Is it Holly or the baby?
They're the same thing.
Are they?
What does that mean?
I don't know. Is it crazy to have such an investment in this baby? I know it's Luke's child. Somehow it's a small miracle to have even a piece of him.
Are we putting too much importance on it?
Is it fair? I mean, you've been doting on Holly. You even said made sure it was a boy and a Spencer baby and Luke's Wonder baby. Fair to put all that kind of pressure on her.
That could very well be the reason why she's in here.
Could be our fault.
I think it's a combination of things, but it is the pressure from us. The pressure from Rob. It's probably the worst of all, the pressure from herself.
You know what I think? I think we ought to stand back. When she gets well, be there if she needs it. But give her a little room to be herself.
Yeah. I think I ought to lay off of Robert. I mean, what right do I have to tell him how to live his life?
Well, you said you were going to apologize. I'm sure that'll do it.
You know, Ruby, you're right. It is jealousy. Just now when you said we got to back off, I started thinking about how we made all those plans to take care of Holly and to live with her. I think I'm blaming Robert for taking her away from us.
Well, if he hadn't, she'd be further away. England.
Oh, Ruby, I wish this had...
I know. I feel the same. I wish it never, ever happened.
No. I'll get a sedative.
It's all right, Holly. Lie still. It's all right. It's all right. We're here.
My baby.
It's okay. It'll be all right, but you gotta lie still. Relax. Okay? Just relax.
How is she?
She's all right for the time being.
I noticed Dr. Mason's name on the chart.
Yeah, she's attending.
Gynecological problem?
I don't know all of the details.
Well, I hope it's not too serious. It'd be terrible if one day she couldn't have children. Keeping her sedated?
Yeah, for the time being.
Dan, how would you like a cup of coffee?
Fine, if you can tear yourself away.
Well, we're just using up oxygen.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead? I'll...
You hang in there.
Sedative's not working. It's abdominal pain. Please, call Dr. Mason.
You're waiving the right to counsel.
I told you before, I have nothing to hide. I don't want or need a lawyer.
It's for your own protection.
Go ahead, ask your questions. I'm not going to change my mind.
I hope I can expect the truth.
Nothing but.
So far, I've had nothing but lies. You've had that note in your possession for some time now, Heather. Tiffany found it in your jewelry box. Now, I want to know how you got it.
Good old Tiffany. You turn your back.
I asked you a question. Now, why were you concealing that note?
Because I had
Why?
to.
Why?
I don't know.
You afraid for Scotty? Afraid it might incriminate him?
Yes!
You wanted to protect him.
I was scared. I knew what that
When
note
did he
could
give
mean.
it to you?
He didn't.
He had to.
No!
The only other way you could possibly have ever gotten that note, Heather, was if
I
you...
took it myself. I took it. I lied to you. That's right. I lied to you the night. I dropped my lipstick there that night.
What night?
The night Susan was killed. I was there, Commissioner.
What have we got? She's having abdominal pain.
Okay, now, Holly, we'll try to stay still, okay? That's the best thing.
You make it all right.
Just take it easy. Relax, all right? Try to stay still.
Okay, let's start at the beginning. You tell me everything that happened that night.
I went to the cottage.
Alone?
Yes.
What time?
Oh, I don't know, around 9 or so. I wasn't wearing a watch.
Go on.
The door was open, so I went in.
You never saw the murderer?
I was in the closet. I couldn't see anything.
Why did you lie to me about the lipstick? For the same reason you took the note and hid it?
I wanted to protect him.
Scotty?
Yes. I was afraid he'd done it.
Let's go back to the night in question. You are telling the truth, aren't you, regarding what you saw when you went up those stairs?
Of course I'm telling the truth.
But you were Scotty's lover. The last thing in the world you want to see is for him to go to prison. Maybe in your zeal to protect him, you shot Susan yourself.
No, I am telling you the truth.
I'm going to have to take you in, Heather.
Jail?
Custody.
On what charge?
Same as Scotty. Suspicion of murder.